Hey guys, Lon Measley here. Since the release of Legion, class order halls have been a decent source of income as well as artifact power and more recently, reputation tokens. In this video, I'm gonna go in depth about champion selection and itemization. I'm gonna show you my setup on getting 200% on as many missions at the same time as possible. First, let's go over the basics of champions. Each champion comes with one specialization, which determines what type of boss can be countered. One champion can have one of 3 specs. In addition to their specialization, each champion also comes with 2 abilities. Ability 1 counters a certain non-boss threat, usually, and Ability 2 either boosts success chance or has some other effect. The basic gist behind all this is to have as diverse a champion pool as you can. Next, I'm going to be covering mission threats. Each mission will come with 1 to 3 threats, with one being a boss. Bosses are countered by specializations. Then there are also 3 types of non-boss threats: Hazard, Minions, and Spell. These are typically countered by the first ability of each champion. Again, you want to have a diverse champion pool to be able to counter all of these threats consistently. A threat that is left uncountered will cause one of these 5 negative effects. When left uncountered, Powerful reduces your success chance by 100%. Bosses always come with this effect. Next, we have Slowing, which doubles your mission duration, Disorienting, which doubles your mission cost, Cursed, which disables bonus loot, and Lethal, which kills all troops. Again, bosses are always powerful, and every mission has a boss. Each non-boss threat will have one of the 5 random effects, which means they can also spawn as powerful. In order to maximize success chance, which means getting to 200% success, you definitely want to counter Powerful and Cursed. Lethal and Disorienting just increase your mission costs and don't directly affect success chance. Lastly, Slowing makes your missions take longer to complete, but actually can be left uncountered to trigger the 8-hour equipment bonus, hence the advantage of this type of equipment. Assuming you've completed your class order hall campaign and have researched the extra champion slot, you can simultaneously run 7 champions. After assigning your favorite champion as a combat ally, you'll have 6 champions to run missions with. The ideal setup would be to have 2 of each of the 3 specializations, and 2 of each counter ability to Hazard, Minions, and Spell. Note that for some classes you may not be able to have 2 of each specialization and 2 of each counter ability perfectly, so just try your best to match this. Here, let's look at an example lineup. I have 2 Elemental, 2 Enhancement, and 2 Restoration champions. For abilities, I also have 2 Chain Lightnings, which counters Minions, 2 Wind Shears, which counters Spell, and 2 Ghost Wolf, which counters Hazards. Now there's one interesting ability that I think most if not all classes have access to, which is reducing mission duration. This ability can be used strategically because there are items that increase success chance based on the duration of a mission. I'll get back to that in a second. We're getting into the second half of the video, which is about champion equipment. I'm gonna pick out the best equipment based on my experience. First, we have equipment that just flat out boosts success chance. These don't really give a huge boost, but they can still be used as filler. Next, we have the ones that boost success chance below 4 hours, but actually most of the missions of interest are above 4 hours, so these are also not that useful. So of the equipment on this tab, my tier 1 would be the ones that boost success chance over 8 hours. You'll find that a lot of the missions that give better rewards are above 8 hours. And what you can actually do is you deliberately leave Slowing uncountered as to increase the duration of your mission to trigger the effect of these equipment. Next, we have items that reduce mission duration. These are generally not that useful in my opinion, so we'll just skip over them. And now we're looking at combat ally equipment. What you want to do with these is largely up to your own preference. I prefer the order hall resources. And keep in mind that you can double up on equipment with the same effect but of a different rarity. So for example, you could equip a Curiel of Abundant Happiness plus an Elixir of Plenty on your character. Next, let's look at the Troop Affinity equipment. This type of equipment increases success chance of missions when you pair your champions with certain types of troops. And in my opinion, the best one of these is the one with greater troops. Greater troops are integral to mission success with the huge boost they get from tier 4 of your order hall advancement tree. And being able to have 2 of them at the same time means that you can easily 200% 2 separate missions if you put one of them in each mission simultaneously. Let's look at how I equip some of my followers. Check out Duke Hydraxis here. He has 2 slots occupied by increasing success chance with greater troops, 1 epic and 1 rare. And for the last slot, he has the item that increases success chance by 40% whenever the mission is longer than 8 hours. I realize that it's not easy getting a full set of champion equipment off the bat, so I try to prioritize having at least 1 greater troop item and 1 8-hour item on each follower. Lastly, I want to mention the legendary equipment. These are really rare, but with 7.2, the Broken Shore Command Center sometimes gives you one for free. However, it is given out at random, so you can't pick the one you want. Although almost all of them are very strong, so make sure you snag these up whenever the command center is giving them out. Let's talk about execution. Just like with Draenor, you want the Garrison Mission Manager to help you decide which champions to send out, but do be careful of affixes such as lethal, disorienting, and slowing, as they're not factored into your success chance. My main strategy for picking which champions and troops to send out is to typically pair 2 champions with 1 greater troop. This ensures that I trigger the greater troop equipment on both champions and gives me the potential to run 2 or 3 200% missions simultaneously. Here's the trick that I mentioned before, which is using the slowing affix to your advantage. By deliberately leaving it uncountered and having the mission duration be above 8 hours, you'll be able to trigger the 8-hour and above mission success item, which depending on your equipment may dramatically boost your success chance and save you from using more troops. This could also work the other way if you try to reduce the duration to below 4 hours and trigger the below 4-hour equipment, but like I said before, there simply aren't that many missions with such short durations that provide decent rewards. Finally, in this last part, I'm going to cover the non-class specific champions, namely Morose and Meatball. First, I'll talk about Meatball. He is indeed powerful and very versatile. Though he doesn't specifically counter any bosses, he does increase success chance against any type of boss. His Loud Noises ability is good against minions, so when you bring him on, make sure you replace a champion that has a minion counter. His Burp ability is also very strong, as it basically allows you to target any mission and increase its success chance. Burp has a chance to give you a consumable called the Strange Ball of Energy, which you can use to target any champion or even troop to increase the mission success chance by 20% each. Only one can be used on a champion or troop at a time, but you can use them on all of the different champions and troops that are going on a mission. You get him by participating in the new Brawlers Guild. Keep brawling until you get a special class order hall mission. Make sure you get 200% on each of the missions, as they will give you the item for the next mission. If any of the missions stop showing up for a while, hop back into the Brawlers Guild and do some more brawls until they come back up. The other champion in the non-class category is Morose from Return to Karazhan. He's versatile, but he's probably not as good as Meatball. His Dinner is Served ability gives you a random powerful troop. This guy is pretty rare. You basically need to farm Return to Karazhan in order to get him. He drops from Morose with about a 2-point-something% chance and can be farmed on heroic mode. That is all for my video. I hope you found it informative, and if you did, make sure to leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks guys, peace out. If you haven't yet, you can also check out my other class order hall optimization guide.